Dear students, very good morning to you all. I am Dr. Gopala Sudarshanam, Senior Assistant Professor of Commerce, working at Government Degree and PG College, Gajwel. Today, I will deliver a lesson through this video presentation on report writing. This report writing concept is very important, especially to all commerce graduate and the students come from commerce stream, and also important to the other students who would interested to prepare various kinds of report. What we will learn from this, we can find from this some insights on report writing. What is report writing, how it is designed, what are the components used, and all we will learn from this presentation. Before that, let us have some important insights on report writing. Research report is considered a major component of research study. For the research task remains incomplete till the report has been presented or written. If anybody undertakes any kind of research initiative, that research initiative may be for the document, project, or even for it is for minor research project, major research project, or even for MBA projects. And if students go for MPhil, Master of Philosophy, dissertation, or PhD thesis, whatever kind of report you want to prepare, unless it is made or presented either on oral form or in written form, it will be completely incomplete. So to make report as more important and available to all, it must be made into the written form. And as a matter of fact, even the most brilliant hypothesis, highly designed and conducted research study, and the most striking generalizations and findings are of little value unless they are effectively communicated to others. Yes, many times the research scholars, professors, and other people who have authoritarian and potency over designing the hypothesis, planning the research work, conducting different kinds of research studies, and making good and striking generalizations, and the findings are more vital that can be promulgated to general public. But if they are only with an assumptions and they're only with an insight, it is completely ineffective unless and until they are communicated to others. How we can communicate your effective and brilliant hypothesis and highlight research design and the methodology you have adopted and the generalizations you made, and very dependable, and make use of findings you made. So these things should be communicated. So how it can be communicated? Just by writing them in the form of a document. That is nothing but a report. So that the third point we can underline as an insight here is the purpose of research is not well served unless the findings are made known to others. What is the very purpose of your research? How can you make your research purpose objective as more appreciable and more accepted by others unless the findings are known to the others? Your research findings must be known to the others. Then only they can make their comments, their appreciation, their constructive criticism. When your findings are available to others, how they are available to others unless you communicate them? Okay, to communicate how? Just by making them into the form of a report or a document or any text that is called report writing. And research results must invariably enter the general store of knowledge. Then for this, keeping these things in the mind, as the research report writing is very important, that we learned from the insert of the previous slide, the brief layout of our presentation is made like this. What is the meaning of research reporting or report writing? What are the objectives, types of research writing or report writing, steps of report writing, importance or significance of report writing, layout of the, what is the layout, the plan of action, the picture of report writing and of report writing. Yes, look at the slide. Report writing. What is report writing? What it is mean? It is any informational work made with an intention to relay information or recounting certain events in presentable manner. And reports are often conveyed in writing, speech, television talks, and making them into a short films. So anyway you can communicate it. It is not compulsory to make your report in the form of writing or a document or binded book only. You can submit your report in the form of speech. Orally, you can present it, and you can telecast through television, and you can make and shoot and make available to others in the form of a film. Then, report is an administrative necessity for any administrative job, maybe the organ or a business entity or the governance or in any committees. For their administrative necessity, they depend on the documents. Those documents are none other than reports. And most official form of information or work is completed via report only. For example, at the time of Telangana agitation, central government was appointed a committee, Sri Krishna committee. It has submitted 1,000+ pages of its report. That is a report, the most official document. So that most official form of your information, for example, similarly, if central government or state government want to inform anything about the student scholarship or opening of schools and colleges during the corona period, during this pandemic period, just it cannot say orally. Even it is studied in the news channel also cannot be most reliable. So that what it can release a bulletin, it can release proceedings in the form of a report. Hence why most official form of information or work is completed via report only. Report is always written in a sequential manner in order of occurrence. This is very important and crux of the any report. A report you cannot write as you wish. It should not be an erratic, and you cannot transmit it a zigzag. It should have order, sequence, and it's a process. So that is the beauty of any report. The way it occurs, accordingly we submit the report. Then the another thing also we can learn as a meaning of report writing, that reports are documents which presents specific focused content, often the results of an experiment, investigation, or inquiry to a specific audience. When you focus on a through an experiment you have conducted, the investigation you made, or an inquiry you have conducted, then to supply that information to a specific audience or targeted audience, for that you will prepare a booklet, a document, a page, a paper, a bunch of papers. That is called report. So report is the term used for a group of documents, group of papers, combination of different set of papers that carry the information. That information is analyzed or recommended also. Then, as per the expert English dictionary, the definition of report writing can be seen as under: a report is a statement of the result of an investigation or any matter on which definite information is required. Then, why we have to prepare report? Why should we make a report? What should be the objectives of report writing? Following are the important points that can underline and highlight the very purpose of report writing or objectives of report writing. Number one, understand the purpose of report. To understand the purpose of report that must be written, and plan for a report, to prepare a plan, action, and idea. And third one is to understand the structure of the report. So why we are preparing a report in the form of written document, so that when a person turn the pages of that report, he can understand the design and layout of the report. The structure you can understand. What is coming first? How should be the title? How the content is organized and how it is presented and which has come after what should be first, what is the sequence and what things should be that should be followed. So to understand the structure, a report has to be made in the form of writing and collect information for your report. Unless if you are not interested to prepare a report in the form of writing or a document structured, you cannot collect information. So to collect the information, you should have an idea of reporting. The layout should be in front of you. Accordingly, you will collect so that the report writing can supply you the layout and facilitate you the structure of your document so as to collect information accordingly for your report and organize your information. Yes, how to organize? What should be the order? What should come first? Which should be followed by that? And what next? That wise, the order, the structure, the design, the layout, the plan that can be made when you have the structured and authoritarian report writing format with you and use an appropriate style of writing. Yes, to prepare report writing, one objective is what style of report writing you are making. Different kinds of reports have different styles. Some will be facilitated with more advantages. Some will be uh, suffered with certain stumbling blocks, some hurdles, some fallouts. So to know them, which is the appropriate style of writing to this, what style is recommended for the business report or a PhD thesis, otherwise a committee inquiry, to write a report of made by a committee but on that particular incident. What style you should be prepared? The style you have adopted to write your thesis for PhD work cannot be simply adopted by the police people to write their report on their investigation made on any criminal offense or certain any other investigative activity. To use an appropriate style to make a match and connectivity of the purpose and work and report, we must know report writing and their style and structure and understand how to lay out your information in an appropriate way. Right. Okay. You have set that objective. Then what should be the significance of report writing? What is the importance of report writing? What will you get? What advantage will be yielded by you? Then you can look at the slide, you can find them. Research report is a major component of the research study. If you conduct a research study on any social issue, economic issue, health issue, or business changing business environment, or the impact of any scheme and program of the government on upliftment of the poor and backward people. So you have done a wonderful research. You have collected good data. You have analyzed. You made it as a very purified and sensitized and sanitized information. Then what is the use unless you are able to, unless you communicate it to the target audience, target people or the interested people, so that to make your research report as more reliable and to get its support from different audience, that must be prepared in the form of document. Means report writing should be made. And the second importance is that to communicate generalizations and findings, unless you make black and white, unless you ink what you have made through your research, what are your generalizations and findings, you cannot make to available others them. So to communicate your generalizations of your research and communicate the findings, the report. And to make findings are made known to others. Yes, as we have been discussing right from the beginning, that to make findings are made known to others. Unless your findings are known to others, learned by the others, studied by the others, the significance of your research study cannot be understood by the others. So to make them understand well and to expect their comments on your research work and to make a degree on your research work, that must be communicated to others. The research works, the key area is your conclusion, generalizations, and findings. So those things can be communicated. So through report writing only that is possible. Hence why it is yielding great significance. And to send research result to the general store of knowledge. Once you prepare a report on your research work on that is including generalization, finding, conclusions, methodology. So if it is the form of a document, then that will be put in the store of knowledge. In the future period of action, the other researchers, needy people may refer your research document, may go through this, may study it, and may get much light from your book, so that to send your research result to the store of knowledge, that knowledge that you have acquired or conquered through your research work should be documented. Then, as they are always guided by experts, many a times report your research findings, conclusions, and the components of research that are presented through report writing are always guided by a competent and authorized supervisor and guide, an expert, so that there must be the documented knowledge can be referred by the others. The reliability will be more. Reliability will be more. Then, as they capture huge reliability and dependability also. Then it plays a major role in professional progress and advancement. When you are doing a post graduation, to complete your course in any semester, there should be a project work. Unless you make a project work and submit in the form of report, you cannot get your own advancement. So that to have your professional degree progress and acceleration at a higher level, it has to be done through the completion of research report writing or report writing. And as the results are presented independently and naturally is another point. In any report writing, the result that found by the inquiry, examination, investigation, or conducting of research can be presented independently, and the results are always seen neutrally. They are unbiased. They cannot support to any particular person or organization, affiliated institution, so that the more reliability will be seen with that report writing. It is also a means of internal communication within the organization. It serves as a managerial and decision-making tool. Many a times, the management people to make decisions regarding to manage its organization's financial aspects, its progress and expansion of their business, and designing their plans, preparing the policies and procedures. This report is a big source, supportive evidence, and driving force, so that it serves as a managerial and decision-making standard tool, technique, and equipment. It acts as a catalyst as their scientific outcomes. Then, when we look into the objectives and significance, we should have a curiosity to know then what type of reports are available. So look at this slide, you can find there are following types of reports. During your time at university, you may be asked to write different types of reports. For example, a student after completion of degree, when you go to the post-graduation course, maybe have MA, MCOM, MSc, or MBA, MCA, even after that MPhil, even PhD program, or if you are fellow of any research organization, or if you got any fellowship from the UGC, AICT, or ICSSR, and Telangana State Council of Higher Education, then you may be expected to write all your work in the form of report. Then how to submit a report? What type of report? So based on them, we can categorize reports into laboratory reports, technical reports, reports of work placement or industrial visit, reports of field trip or field work. The laboratory reports are many a times when you conduct an experiment in a lab, the findings can be presented through this laboratory reports. And even you go to the medical lab to test your complete urine examination, CUE, to make your complete blood picture, CBP, and to even to know other testings, they can collect the sample, they can conduct the experiment with that sample, and they can find some results. The results are put on paper, they compare with the normal ranges. Based on that, they can diagnose the level of the disease and the suffering of a person. So that is all called laboratory reports. Technical reports, these are the particularly used by the engineering graduates, engineering people to prepare plans for their constructions of buildings, projects, bed and bridges, dams, etc. And reports of work placement and industrial visits. Many a times the students or even scholars may be expected to visit the industries and the workplace, and that the people who have visited the workplace like a bank, to know about the banking activity, may go to the bank, and to know about the functioning of the insurance people, you may visit any insurance organization, and to know about any industry you may visit. So based on your visit and experiences and observations you made there, you may be expected to prepare a report that is called work placement or industrial visit report. And reports of field trip or field work, generally when we go to any field work, and even we go to any kind of excursion, picnic, and a visit, you will be expected to prepare a report right from the beginning of your journey to and get back. Then the other types can also be taken like this. The main other two types, as far as scholar work and research work of students is association, we will call the research report writing in two names, that is thesis and dissertation. Many times we will get confused with these two, but look at the slide, you can find some idea. A long essay or dissertation involving personal research written as part of university doctoral degree. In easy way to understand, my dear student, remember, to complete a doctoral degree, that is PhD, philosophy, doctor of philosophy, you can write a document of certain pages, that is called as thesis. Or if you prepare the same long essay, especially one written for a university degree or a diploma or MBA course, completion of MBA degree, or post graduation diploma in business management, even to complete your master of philosophy. So that kind of degrees, if to complete a degree, diploma, if you prepare a long essay with certain pages of 100, 150 or 200, that is called dissertation. So simply remember, to complete your post graduation degree, if there are any projects to be prepared, then prepare can be called as a dissertation. For your PhD work, if you prepare a book, it is called as thesis. Then format of technical report. Previously, we learned that the technical reports are there used by the most of the time engineering people and all. So then how you can prepare a technical report? What should be the headings? First, we will prepare the abstract of your result, summary of results through your experiment or your observation and investigation, what you could find. In a nutshell, a summary, you should present it. That should be the first in the technical report. Then you have to write the nature of the study. What is the nature of your study? Then what are the methods we employed to conduct your inquiry or experiment or your study? Then what is data? How did you collect the data? How did you collect your primary data, secondary data, how it is processed, how it is classified, how it is tabulated, everything you write here. Analyze the data with the usage of certain statistical techniques like central tendency measures, averages, percentages, some testing tools like t-test, f-test, j-test. Likewise, you can analyze the data, and after analyzing from that analysis, we can extract the key points. Those key points are presented in the form of findings of your research. Then, based on that findings, after that, you can make a conclusion. By that, the major portion of your report is completed. First you have to write summary of your total work result. Then you have to prepare nature of the study. Then what methods we have applied, what are the research methods, different analytical methods used, etc. You have to brief under this head. Then you have to write the data. How data is converted into information, how you have collected, what are the sources you use. Such way you have to write here. Then you can analyze the collected. For that analyze, you can use different statistical techniques, mathematical technique, and testing techniques, tools, packages, and applications like SPSS can be used. Then they can present, you can, from that the key and important points can be extracted and made it as a finding. They can be presented. Then making them all summarizing, we can draw the conclusions. You can make the inferences. After that, in an annexary, we can enclose bibliography. Bibliography is that the data in which we can write the sources you have used for secondary data. How you referred, what are the books you referred, what are the research articles you have studied and referred, what are the general essays, and what are the other research projects you went through. Everything we have to refer here. Then technical appendices, if there are any format like questionnaires or any GOs, proceedings, some other government authorities, technical institutions issued format structures that can be enclosed at the end in the form of appendices. Then we will write the index, the total work we can take in a serial number, and page wise we can arrange them. That is called index, indicating which point is in which page. That. Then this is another classification of reports, like informal reports and formal reports. Coming to the informal reports, what are the different types of informal reports? We can take them as progress report, sales activity report, personal evaluation report, financial report, feasibility report, literature review report, and credit report. These are very familiarly known as informal reports. We will have more explanation on these in another special class. Then coming to the formal reports. The formal reports can be further categorized like informational reports, analytical reports, and recommendation reports. Now let us go to the other format, important point of report writing, the steps in report writing. When you prepare a report writing, what steps are involved, what are the different stages considered into account? Number one is logical analysis of the subject matter. The subject matter on which you are preparing a report should be logically analyzed. Logically means making with a comparison, differentiation, with theoretical support, and making some rationality, and with taking the measuring the values of that with a scientific parameters. Those are all togetherly known as logical analysis. So that is the first step you have to make in the report writing. Then preparation of the final outline. Then how you are going to prepare your report, what are the different steps, chapters. Simply said, the chapterization scheme, the plan of action. For example, to present my lesson, I prepared a lesson plan. What should we teach first, what is next, what is next, what is last. So I can make an arrangement order. Similarly, here also we have to prepare a final outline. So the order, the structure, and a guide the process of conducting or preparing your report writing. Then after that, based on that final outline, we have to prepare in the third stage rough draft. It cannot be final, because first we will write a rough information and all. Then rewriting and polishing the rough draft. A single rough draft cannot be finalized. At least it takes 3 to 4 rough drafts to finalize, so that polish it. More reviews, more editings, more corrections, adding more sophisticated information. This all takes in rewriting rough draft. Then preparation of the final bibliography. As I said, the books you use, articles you have referred, and presentations you have made, even TV talks, radio talks, and other website talks you went through and included in your research work can also be all listed accordingly. And finally, the last one is writing the final draft. After doing all this, you make a final draft and bind it. These are the various steps involved in the report writing. Then, as the student and the people of commerce and business management, we should know the format of business report writing. As I said, there are different types of reports. How technical report is different, laboratory report is different, industrial and placement visit report is different, fieldwork report is different. Similarly, business report is also different. It has its own format, structure, style. So if you look at this slide, you can find what is the order of preparing a business report writing. First, always we will have a title page. Then we will prepare an executive summary, not more than 2 pages of entire your report. Report may be of 50 pages, 20 pages, 100 pages, or 500 pages. It has to be summarized, concised as an executive summary into not more than 2 to 3 pages. Then we will prepare the table contents. What are the different kinds of tables you know included in your report? What is the title of it? Based on that, a table content you will prepare. We will see them in the coming slides. Next, we will go for the introduction of your work. Then you develop the body of your report, and then you can make a conclusions. Based on that, if you as a researcher and observer want to make, or a person you have conducted study on that particular business, any recommendation, you can also make recommendation. At the end, we can enclose some appendices that the questionnaire you use, the formats you have used or prepared, and any proceedings or documents or authenticative formats issued by the agencies, organizations, and government use, those can be included in the appendices. Then mechanics of report writing. This is very important. What are the mechanics of report writing? The mechanics means the machinery, mechanism, the scientific procedure, rules should be followed. It is very, very important, one must know. First, size and physical design. How a document should be prepared. When you type the data in a page, what should be the size? When you write a body, a content, what should be the font size? Which font should be used? Whether it is Times New Roman, Vedana, what Airtel board, what other board, which format, font you have to use, and how that should be structured. That is come under the size and physical design. For example, when you take a page layout, you will take like this. The left hand side should be 2 points, and right hand side 1.5. Top and bottom should be 1.5, because the left hand side can be binded the book. So when you bind, even your material should not miss. Hence why that is the size. The physical design, between two lines there would be at least 1.5 space change, and content should be with a 12 font, and if there are any headings, they should be with a 12 font but can be bolded. This is called size and physical design. And procedure means the order you should also always follow as per your report writing layout that you prepare in the beginning. And of quotations, how you treat the quotations. If you refer any quotations given by the authors and great personalities across the globe, and any organization or committees and internationally reputed institutions like WHO, UNO, UNESCO, UNICEF, that's all. And if you want to refer the quotations of Mahatma Gandhi or some other great people like Narendra Modi, how can you treat them? And if you want to give some more explanation, how you put them in the footnotes. See, this is the technicality you should know. And documentation style, punctuations and observations, punctuation marks and abbreviations, not observations, abbreviations, use of statistics, whether what statistics you use, whether it is percentages, ratios, averages, or otherwise graphs, diagrams, charts. Those are the things should also be known. And the final draft, and preparation of the index. These must be very much known and very well known by you. Then documentation style. As I said, if you refer a book in a bibliography, how to write them first? Name of the author and last name first. Title underlined to indicate illicit. Place, publisher and date of publication, and number of values. This is for books and pamphlets. The order may be followed. So, for example, look at that documentation style. Example, Kothari CR. For example, quantitative techniques, a textbook you referred to write your report writing written by the Kothari CR. How you have to write? Kothari CR, quantitative techniques, New Delhi, because Publishing House Private Limited, 1978. So that way, all those 4 points are arranged. So, similarly, if you refer the magazines, newspapers, they are maybe agenda. Name of the author, last name first, title of the article, in quotation marks, name of periodicals, underline to indicate italics, the volume or volume and number, the date of the issue, the pagination means page number. Like click to the down. Example, Robert V. Rosa, coping with short-term international money flows. The Banker, London, September 1970, and P995, page number 995. That is called pagination. Again, some English and Latin technical terms. These are very, very important. When we prepare the research report, many a times we use some technical terms. Those are not completely full form, we cannot use. Those are like that. Anon, A-N-O, anon, means anonymous, means unknown. Anti, before. Art, means if you write ART, comma, it is called article. AUG, aug dot comma, augmented. BK means book. In any report, in a content, if you use this term like COL, col means column. You should understand so. DIS is this, dissertation. ED, editor, edition, edited, like that. ENG means enlarged. Et al, it is very important. ET dot al. It is pronounced as et al means and others. Like, and the same way we can look at this. These are also used, and these are ND, no date, NP, no place, no pub, no publisher name, no numbers, O.P, out of print, like that. So the other things also you can see, REV, revised, VIZ, very familiar. VIZ, wise means namely, the names of so and so. Likewise, these abbreviations and short forms and Latin technical terms are also used in your report writing. Then this is the another point, that is research report layout. It is very, very important for commerce people, especially not only commerce people, but this is made use of, and it is prepared, this presentation keeping in the view of the commerce students when they do the MPhil work, PhD work, or even they work for any research paper preparation or to write an article. How they have to write? What is the research report layout? This is title page. First, certificate issued by the guide or competent authority or supervisor. Declaration by the candidate, means student or researcher. Content sheet, acknowledgement, abbreviations, list of tables, list of charts, graphs and diagrams, abstracts, either included or separately printed, or chapter-wise presentation. Just I can show all these in the form of a picture that I made while I prepared my PhD thesis. See, this is the title page. This is certificate issued by the competent authority, means the guide who has guided me, the supervisor, the professor. And declaration, that is by the candidate, me, I declared. If you prepare your project work thesis, you have to declare on your own name. And this is content sheet. What is chapter 1, chapter 2, and acknowledgement, etc., and all we can put it page wise. And acknowledgement means thanking the others who have helped you in preparation of your work. And list of abbreviations. If you have used any abbreviations in your total entire report, they have to be explained in the first itself. Those. And list of tables, if you prepared, if you use at least few tables in your document, those to be taken. In which chapter that was there, what is the title of table, and in which page you can find that way. And now after that, many times the reports are failing. Many people are not getting success in preparation of their reports. Why it is happening so? Because the overall message is not clear by the report. Report is badly structured. Report is too long. Inappropriate language for intended audience. Report is boring, does not engage the reader. Report is full of grammatical and spelling errors. So that to make your report more attentive and creating an interest to among the readers and audience to go through them. So what care should be taken? Focus on the key results. Be clear and concise. Don't go into too much detail. Let your pictures do the talking so that you don't make everything as a picture. A limited amount of pictures should be displayed. However, be careful not to omit anything. Make life easier for your readers by simplifying your results and describe your results. Don't explain or discuss them. This is what discussion is for. Then precautions to be taken, like report should be long enough to cover the subject but short enough to maintain the interest. A research report should sustain readers' interest. As I said, abstract terminology and technical jargon should be avoided in research report. As simple as possible should be it is the language and way you present. Chart, graphs, statistical tables, and diagrams may also be used. The report should be free from grammatical and spelling errors, and some standard techniques and methods should be used. Report must present the logical and subject matter. A research report should show originality. It should necessarily be an attempt to solve some intellectual problems, and it must be it must add to the store of knowledge. So whatever knowledge you have found through your research work should be supported by it, and appendix should be enlisted in respect of all the technical data, and the bibliography of source consulted is a must for any report. Unless you enclose the bibliography, certainly people may raise their eyebrows because it is copied or plagiarized. And index is also be considered, and report must be attractive in appearance, neat and clean visibility when you make a binding, when you type, and making the bold letters, and arranging the sentences and all. Calculated confidence limits must be mentioned, and the various constant experience in the conducting a research study may also be stated in the report. If you face any difficulty, limited, and objective of the study must be met with your research. So this is about our research report writing or preparation of report writing. Thank you very much. We will have more about report writing in the coming classes. Thank you.